Good morning. Today's topic is cyanobacteria. It is also known as blue-green algae. And it is seen that it has some important role in antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal and in anticancerous activities. They can be used for the synthesis of secondary biologically active compounds. It may surprise you by knowing that they can be still around you. They are the one of the largest and most important group of bacteria on earth. They have the distinction of being the oldest known fossils, more than 3.5 billion years ago. Sometimes in the early Cambrian, cyanobacteria began to take up residence within eukaryotic cell. That means they can make their own food. This event is known as endosymbiosis and is also known for the origin of eukaryotic mitochondria. In the field of agriculture, it is also known as it can help in nitrogen fixation. Now about its occurrence. They occur naturally in fresh water like rivers, ponds. Now the question comes, why cyanobacteria is so important? It is important because they use the process of photosynthesis to convert sunlight into food and energy, but with the help of pigments other than green. Unlike plants, the color pigment of cyanobacteria is blue green and it has some unique properties as you can see in this figure. Due to these properties, it is referred to as blue-green algae. Typically, blue-green algae cannot be seen by the naked eye, but under certain conditions, it can be grow abundantly and appear as a bloom. Now, let's know about chloroplast. Where it is found in plants. They are organelles that conduct photosynthesis, also known as plastid, where the photosynthetic pigment chlorophyll captures the energy from the sunlight, where it converts and stores in the form of energy. Chloroplasts are highly dynamic. They can circulate here there, but within plant cell. Their behavior is strongly influenced by environmental factors. What are those? They are maybe light, color, and intensity. Chloroplasts, like mitochondria, contain their own DNA, which is thought to be inherited from their ancestor. This chloroplast cannot be made by the plant cell by its own. It must be inherited by each daughter cell during cell division. Now about cyanotoxins. Blooming cyanobacteria can produce cyanotoxins in such a condition that they can act as a poison and can kill animal and humans. Cyanotoxins can also accumulate in other animals such as in fish and can cause fish poisoning. Now let's know about its morphology. They are small in size, ranges from 1 to 10 micron. They had motile filaments known as hormogonia. All cyanobacteria except some have an internal system of thylakoid membranes in which the light reaction of photosynthesis and respiration takes place. Besides the thylakoid membrane, the cyanobacteria cytosol contain carboxysomes, glycogen granules, lipid bodies, and these cells are more elaborated and larger than bacteria. They have typically prokaryotic cell structure like naked DNA. It has a 70S ribosome, one enveloped organization with peptidoglycan, and it doesn't have endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria, Golgi bodies, plastid. Cyanobacteria cell wall is four-layered, which is made up of peptidoglycan. Now, a question may come in our mind that how they reproduce. They reproduce by the help of asexual reproduction, either by means of binary or multiple fusion. Under favorable condition, it can reproduce at explosive rate and which results as a bloom. Now about heterocyst. Many nitrogen fixing filamentous cyanobacteria have a specialized cell in which nitrogen fixation takes place, known as heterocyst. And for nourishment, it depends on adjacent vegetative cell. Here you can find nitrogenous enzyme, but photosystem 2 is absent. Thick wall present, which is impermeable to oxygen but permeable to nitrogen. Now about its economic importance. It can be helpful in agriculture because they have the ability to fix atmospheric nitrogen. Recent researchers suggested that potential application of cyanobacteria to the generation of renewable energy by direct converting sunlight into electricity. Internal photosynthetic pathway can be coupled to chemical mediator that transfer electrons to external electrode. Nowadays, it is helpful for the synthesis of secondary metabolites, which are biologically active compounds. Certain other important metabolites reported from cyanobacteria include enzymes, toxins, UV absorbing pigments, and certain fluorescent dyes. From this, we can say that there is a need to develop suitable genomic tools in cyanobacteria to produce fuels or value-added compounds. In some country, it is also used as a food. For example, in Africa, spirulina is regularly collected for human consumption, and in China, nostoc is similarly used. And some species of it, for example Anavina, Elucera, are used to prevent the growth of mosquitoes. On the other way, several strains of cyanobacteria were found to accumulate polyhydroxyalkanoids, which are used as a substitute for bio-non-degradable petrochemical-based plastics. In this way, it took an important part in economically. So this is all about today's lecture. Now let's have some quick summary. That cyanobacteria is a nitrogen fixing bacteria. It is unicellular by nature and it is photosynthetic. It reproduces by asexually. And it has some important role in endosymbiosis, and it has the ability to fix atmospheric nitrogen, decompose the organic waste and residues. It can detoxify heavy metals, pesticides and other xenovides. It can catalyze nutrient cycle. It can suppress growth of pathogenic microorganisms in soil and water, and also useful for the production of bioactive compounds. This is all about my today's lecture. Thank you.